Another week, another episode. Here on episode 56 of the Block to Block podcast, the best podcast in the world for all things Web3. Here we break down the technology, what's going on in the market, and the ways in which you can benefit. I am NFT and Jai, and I'm here with another special solo episode. We're gonna get Web3 Wayne back soon. He probably needs a couple more weeks, but I do have something special plan for you guys with a couple of guests I'm very excited to have. So, it would always be the shorter version of these kind of fast packed, action packed jam mini episodes, but we'll get back to regularly scheduled programming pretty soon. However, a lot has been going on. I'm currently in the city of Baltimore, or B-more as we like to say, out in Maryland. And I'm super excited because I'll be pitching within the Venture for America demo day tomorrow to really just pitch the idea for Timbuktu. There is a grand prize at stake here, and there's also the chance to watch the pitch and vote for your favorite pitch of the event. But and of course, we're going to go for the bag. But more importantly, it's very exciting to just be tapped into the Baltimore ecosystem and really just bring the idea of Timbuktu to life for the audience. So I'm very excited to just be here, not only for the pitching tomorrow, but just to spend some time within the startup ecosystem in Baltimore for the weekend to connect, network, and really see if there's opportunities for us to have, you know, special events here, for next year. Because don't think the We Outside series stops this year. Like, we're gonna be super outside, like super duper duper outside. And we're also gonna be outside for Art Basel. Man, I can't wait to tell y'all. We got some things cooking up for Art Basel. All I say is expect something new, innovative, different, and fun for Art Basel. Super excited, man. Shout out to everybody who's working on that behind the scenes, man. But nonetheless, y'all don't want me to be out here ripping and running, talking about what we're doing outside of the podcast. You guys want to get this Web3 game, man. So before I do so, I must say that this podcast is for general information purposes only. In no event are we liable if you lose your cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, or provolone. That is on you. We strongly advise that you consult a financial advisor or any other financial professional when it comes to making decisions with your money. And with that, let's start the show. Because there's been some big things happening in one of our favorite regions to talk about, which is Hong Kong. So recently, a venture capital firm by the name of CMCC Global has risen $100 million investment fund specifically for the grand city of Hong Kong. And so this fund, called a Titan Fund, will focus on investing in Hong Kong-based Web3 companies. So the Titan Fund's investment will target early stage companies in Web3, including the spaces of gaming, the metaverse, and NFTs. Me, NFT, and Jai, that's like really awesome to hear. And it took a lot of individuals or parties to really make this fund come to life. State Street will be acting as the administrator for the fund, and EY or Ernst & Young will be acting as its auditor. The lead investor in this fund was BLOC 1 or B1, who themselves committed $50 million. So they put up half of the bread for the Titan Fund. And some other notable investors include the Pacific Century Group, the Winklevoss Capital. If you don't know, Winklevoss is like a critical name because, they were, very instrumental in the formation of Apple. And the Anamika Brands founder, Yatsu. So once again, there's a lot of activity that's happening within Hong Kong. And we've been paying attention to every episode. We've spoken about how Hong Kong has been really taking a lot of steps in order to become not only just a global tech hub, but a tech hub specifically for Web3 and to be the premier destination for all blockchain type activity within the Asian region. And so, you know, we talked about how they've made like regime regulatory changes to their regime, like since back in June, with allowing for like crypto trading. They're putting these positions in play to really attract um, different businesses to relocate and come up with commercial licenses as well to establish their operations in Hong Kong. And some notable companies have been doing so as well as like crypto.com. And so once again, we gave you guys the blueprint. There's like so many factors that you need to look into to see if a region is great for your Web3 company, right? And one of the biggest things is governmental initiatives. The fact that Hong Kong, the government of Hong Kong, is very interested in like putting in the regime changes in place to ensure that all types of Web3 activity can really occur, that they're attracting businesses from like the license perspective, that crypto trading is a thing now over there, that and then we have like these private sector players who are coming in with the capital because no matter what they say, you can have all the determination, all the hustle in the world. But at some given point, especially when you're making a tech company, you need capital in order to fuel the growth and development of your venture. You just need it. So the fact that we have $100 million fund for early stage companies and growth stage type companies as well is very promising because oftentimes, and we can speak from personal experience and us being our own tech company, when you're early stage, you probably need anywhere from on the low end 1 million to upwards of 5 million in order to really get the first phase of your company off the ground, right? Because there's so much cost when it comes to development, building out the product, and really acquiring customers, right? And so the fact that they have a fund that's of 100 million, if let's say the average check size that they're investing into companies is like anywhere from 500K to 2 million, you can do the math, right? Like that's a minimum of 50 to even like 100 plus companies that they can invest in within Hong Kong alone. So it is very exciting. And if you're somebody who's watching this and you're based in Hong Kong, I strongly advise that you get your bag and you really develop a compelling pitch and you have a compelling venture that's utilizing Web3 in the areas of the metaverse or gaming or NFTs or what have you, and see if there's a strong fit between you and the Tyson Fund. And it's very important to talk a little bit about the CMCC Global, which is the VC fund that's behind the Titan Fund. They have their investment thesis is they want to really invest within the Asian market specifically and focus on early stage and growth companies. And they were founded back in 2016 and already they have deployed tens of millions of dollars worth of capital and made, obviously on their website, I want to say over 250 million in returns for the investors. And so they're like, they claim to be the first VC company in Asia that's focused on blockchain for Asia. So as you can see, this organization is very bullish and very excited about finding opportunities to invest in key change makers within the Asian region. And it's very smart for them to really tap into Hong Kong as well, because Hong Kong is making these strides to become a global destination for Web3. So really, that's the story that I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, it's like a shorter type episode just because, my co-host, I'm always going to shout him out for being like the best dad in Web3. Shout out to Web3 Wayne. But nonetheless, yeah, man, for my entrepreneurs, like for Hong Kong, well, actually, even beyond Hong Kong, definitely go out there and find the opportunities. You have to be in markets that are catering towards whatever you're trying to do. So that's from like an industry perspective. Like there's some regions of the world where it makes sense to be in that market because there may be like a fit when it comes to the products and services you're trying to deliver. So, for example, like going back to the US, if you're in the entertainment industry and that's what your company's based upon, Atlanta or California are probably markets you need to be keen into, and New York as well, right? Or if you're like doing things like in the realms of agriculture, being in regions where it has conducive environmental factors that can like help you grow your crops and you get all the yield. Like all in all, you have to be in the markets that are the most supportive and the most advantageous for your venture. And so for those of you whom are like based in the Asian region, like definitely take the time to look into Hong Kong and look at past episodes because we talked about how they're really taking the push to make a impact from like the economic standpoint. Because as we know, if you can win the war when it comes to tech, or win the race, I should say, when it comes to who has the best tech ecosystem, that has a lot of output, a lot of yield, a lot of potential for the overall conditions and economic prowess of your country. So yeah, man. US, you can take some notes, y'all. Like, shoot, can we get some governmental push in the right direction? Let's stop all this malarkey and let's have clear regulatory frameworks when it comes to this industry because other regions of the world are really tapping in. But with that, I'm NFT and Jai. Peace.